Hi everyone, my name is Dr. Harmony. I am a twin flame expert helping twin flames around the globe face fears, find freedom, and glow forward on fire. Welcome to today's Glowcast, and I am here today to help give you some energy updates as far as the Lion's Gate that's coming up here on Tuesday, and the Lunar Eclipse and the full moon that's coming up here on tomorrow, on August 7th, 2017 and August 8th of 2017. Now, I've already talked about in other videos the specific energy patterns of like the alignment of, kind of like an astrological alignment and some other different things that I have channeled in as far as timelines. So here, the kind of update that I've been asked to present to you is more of how this is going to affect us in our 3D life and what is happening and what some things to share with you of what to expect coming through this, what's happening coming through this, what I'm seeing coming through this, what I'm personally experienced going through this. And so I was shown to share that with you, which is also, this is part 2 of a 3-part series of Elevate Your Love Vibration that fits right into this alignment of the Lion's Gate, which is our heart energy, expansion of the heart. And therefore, in here in part 2, it is about shift or be shifted into eternal love. And part 1, I talked about what is eternal love. And so basically how we're coming into this, coming up even on the total eclipse that's coming at the end of August, we are creating a total eclipse of the heart, and this gateway is like, and this portal of energy that's coming up here in the next couple of days is about creating and going through this portal as one heart. Now, I've been talking about the return of oneness and return of oneness of self and with source and with our purpose, beloved, as well as all that is. This is what I'm being shown is this portal, now that I'm getting deeper into it, is becoming one heart, okay? And that is the one heart of our beloved in 3D. And that in that one heart, it's basically 2 hearts that are hearts on fire that is creating the oneness together, that so that we can go forward through this gateway, learning how to live fearless, live loved, and live free. And having let go of all those lower patterns, those lower selves, and bringing in the higher dimensional energies I've talked about into the 3D plane, but doing it through the center of the heart and the center of love. And so, we all know this is about the heart right now. And so I have several things to share with you that's been coming through for me this week that, as I've said before, my life has been an open book. That's what my book became. I knew that I was being vulnerable when I stepped into that mission. I knew that I was being an open book, and I also knew that I was like sort of like a forefront in that to help others do the same thing, and that's what my mission was, to be able to experience certain things to help others do the same thing. So I've basically, in my own alignment of my own mission, have signed up for certain things so I know how to walk the walk so that I can talk the talk. And that's what I'm here today, is helping you. I've walked some walks, and I want to share those with you, some new developments just since, even our last video that I recorded in part 1 of what is eternal love. And so I'm going to share some of that with you in a minute. But what I want to first open here with is the concept and the ideas of this is about, a few things we have to do, because what this whole point of this is, and what we have to do on a 3D plane to understand, kind of just, I guess, to kind of really get clear here, we have to learn how to shift from the head logic to the heart language. So that's the point here. And what we're doing is we're collapsing the mind, and we're being forced to face fear so that we can find the freedom to love and live, live in a love stream, be loved, and then share love, and then just be free to love and be free to live in all areas of our life and all of the things I've talked about. That And what happens is a lot of times, I mean, we're hostage to these circumstances. It's so much of this comes down to the perception. And it's the perception, you know, of letting go of fear here. And that fear is really nothing more than the fear of ourselves facing the man in the mirror and facing the fear itself. And that we tend to have a history, especially in the old paradigms, of running from those things and not facing those things and not standing up to those things, because everything we encounter is a direct relationship to the mirror reflection of us. So as we know, a twin flame is a mirror reflection of us. And so when we see that twin flame in the mirror reflection, it's whatever you see in your beloved is what pointing back to you for what you need to look at. So whatever I want you to do that and look at that through this gateway here and look and see and what you see within your beloved, because it's what you need to work on. In addition to that, it is not just our beloved. Every experience, every person, every human being that we have interaction with is a direct reflection of us and our experience of what we choose to see out of the experience or the relationship. So it's what we see is what we get. And so if you're seeing anything other than this eternal love and experiencing anything other than this eternal love, then it's time to look inside. It's time to face your fears so that you can, you know, shift from the head logic into the heart language and collapse the mind, which is what we're being forced to shift to do. So this is like I talk a lot about in this my book, Twin Flame Codebreakers, shift or be shifted. You either get to choose to make some changes to shift into the alignment and the destiny you signed up for, or things are going to come along to cause resistance for you to fight the process and swim upstream. Now, the biggest key here is the resistance. So it's the resistance that we have to learn how to surrender to and let go of the idea that we have to be in control of that, or that we have to know outcomes, or that we have to hang on to anything. And that we learn how to just embrace that journey. And, you know, in addition to these fears, we're rectifying the past. So we're rectifying the karmic clearing of the things we signed up to learn and experience and all the virtues. And that's also with karmic contracts with our relationships and the people that we came here to get those lessons from. And that if we think we're stuck where we're at, it's only because we've chose to become a victim by choice. Because we made the choices to get us where we're at. And if we don't like where we're at, all we got to do is make new choices. And now we might be a hostage to that circumstance, but we don't have to stay in the circumstance. And to understand that there really is no right or wrong in this, because it really is all perfect. And that we have to learn to come into self-acceptance of that. And that we have to be coming into self-acceptance of others and situations is really coming into self-acceptance for ourselves. So I want to share with you now some things that like I've been shown this week to really specifically be looking towards to make the shift from the head logic and to the heart language by collapsing the mind, which is what is happening with the Lion's Gate, as I said. So then I've already talked about the number one here that I've talked about is facing those fears, which is going to create awarenesses for you. It's going to create integration, give you heightened states of awareness that creates a higher state of your being, that raises your energetic vibration, that taps you into more clarity, that then enhances your manifesting abilities to come in from a higher state of being, and you release those lower things, which is creating the freedom. Because that is another thing about the freedom and rectifying our past here, is that it's the combination. I mean, if we're searching freedom, how do we get freedom? It's creating justice and harmony in perfect alignment gives us freedom. So the justice has to do with rectifying our past. letting go of the things that's no longer serve its purpose. But in doing so, it doesn't mean we have to hang on to the resentments. It doesn't mean we have to get back at anyone. It doesn't mean we have to resist going forward. It doesn't mean we have to hold on to the resentments. And that, you know, when one of the things that's coming through with this heart space right now is forgiveness. And that is one of those things I was talking about here to shift. And what I'm being shown is one of the #1 things that this Lionsgate's doing is expanding the heart, releasing those pieces and the cords attached to the past rectification that's preventing any purification down to the core of your heart, and releasing that and purging that so it opens you up now to speak the new earth heart language and fill yourself up with you. And then that is allowing you to become the one with not just yourself now, but like you and your beloved having one heart and one life together. And to do that is about purging those fear pits. It's about cutting the cords energetically. It's about letting go of the resistance. And so all these things I just mentioned are things that are going to all be important to be able to work through for yourself during this shift as we transition through the Lion's Gate and to shift from the head logic to the heart language. So that's one reason why that I've been shown, you know, this diamond light activation and meditation and the 33-day free to love blueprint that I am launching here and having this event live at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time on the Lion's Gate, 8/8 of 2017 at 8 p.m. And just so you know, if you're coming into this later, that this is going to be being recorded and it's going to become a product that's packaged that you'll still be able to get plugged into, because this is how I'm being shown to help bring it into form and to help people get plugged in to raise their energetic vibration, like to release their past, raise their energetic vibration, recalibrate their operating system. And that way they can raise their vibration to reclaim their life at the higher state of being. And as it is in heaven, so it is in earth. We're bringing that into form, so to speak. And so this is on all levels now we're talking. We're not just talking now when, you know, the return of oneness, when I was talking about a lot of the self becoming into oneness. Now, this is also kind of like the completion of self becoming into oneness, but it's getting us prepared for the oneness in 3D with our beloved. And so in order to do this, during this activation, I want to share with you something that's, like I told you, there's so much that's happened this week for me since starting the night of, before I clicked post on the last part 1 of this, what is eternal love? And I'll share that in a minute. But what I do want to say is that whether you do this, you know, live event with me or not, you need to really be working on these things, because it's powerful time frame. It's powerful stuff. And it's so powerful that that is what I want to share is like when we show up and we're in alignment, the things we need for the journey also shows up, and it also shows up good or bad. And I've had both happen this week. And it's the depths of the bad that create the greatness of the light. I talk about the shadow work and to the light work. So I want to share something that's coming through that was passed to me from someone that had been watching my video series, had read my book, got it plugged into the video series, and has been watching about this diamond light activation that I've been talking about. And I want to re-clarify something in case you're just coming into this or you missed this. I want to say that this diamond light I'm being shown is we have been fragmented portions of our soul. We have incarnated from different rays of the spectrum of the white light into different rays of the rainbow color, which is why I came, you know, the rainbow bridge I talk a lot about. And we're coming back into oneness of our fragments of our soul here. which is the deepest part is the heart. And the heart centers of, is the center of it all. And to do that, and what I'm seeing with that is this diamond light is representation of us returning to like the white light, meaning all of the fragments of our soul and these pieces that we've incarnated from are coming back into one. And that now that we have every color of the rainbow, the spectrum coming into one, that is the diamond light. That is the diamond light. And it is the oneness. And I've also been shown that's not only for self, but it's for the union. I've been shown that that is like the missing link here, that each twin has to get into, and it depends, and I've talked about this, it depends on your missions, it depends on, your own personal experiences, it depends on the contracts you've made, but for the most part, we all need to return the oneness of this diamond light, and it's centered within our heart space and our solar plexus in order to activate us at our highest vibration. And I've been talking about this for a while. So what I was getting ready to tell you is I want to share with you, I received a message this week, just 2 or 3 days ago. Time means nothing to me right now because of the speed, lightning speed I'm channeling in, the things I'm going through to also download, upgrade, get prepared, personal awarenesses, personal clearing, personal things, experiences I'm always shifting through myself. And so I'm losing the time, and I'm also seeing this with other people that are, reporting to me. This time is right now really even starting to just collapse. And I've said this before, but it's even the veil's getting even more so, to where our past and our future are now. And it is in the now is the, that Christ consciousness, and the now is that moment of connecting with source, because that's the only place we can really tune in is now. And so I was contacted by a lady a few days ago, and she said to me she had read the book. She said to me that she had been listening to my videos, and she heard me talking about the diamond light and these portals and these activations that I was going to be doing on August 8th. And she said, I went to kind of work. I felt I was doing things. I felt the need to stop what I was doing, put it all to the side, and I sit down and I started channeling in what looked like medallions that turned into, like, color coding them, that turned into her own intuition and guidance. And it was all kind of activated through the combination of my voice, my diamond light I talk about, my message, having read my book, her own intuition, what it activated on her by this process. And she sent me 5 different images that represented, I had came up with this Lionsgate 8 activation codes that were to use on August 8th to use for activations that I had already knew was happening and I had already knew was coming to use for activation in this Lionsgate Diamond Light Code Activation Seeds of Light ceremony that I'm doing here. Well, the 5 images she sent me were the Diamond Light activation codes. And she didn't know what my outline was, but those 5 of them fit 5 of the 8 perfectly. Perfectly. And so I sent her a message back and said, "Dear one, you have no idea what you've just sent me, because these are the visions I've been seeing. These are the activations that I was shown to do. And there's 8 of them, and you've sent 5 of them. Do you have any other artwork that you've done with this? Do you have anything else to share? Do you have a chance to maybe check into, here's the 3 I'm missing, and maybe download something with that, or look at it, see if it resonates?" And she sent me back a message, and she said, "Actually, I did 8 of them, but I only sent you 5 for the moment." So she sent me the other 3 codes, diamond light codes, in physical form. Now we're talking, I've been talking about bringing this stuff into form. We're talking about these light code activation and these codes of this diamond light that I have been shown to present, share, and to implement they're in physical form and an image now that got sent to me from a woman, an artist by the name of Tatiana Hassan from Colombia, South America, that has become my angel this week, showing up just like I showed up with hair products that I talked about last time. Now, when you're in alignment, how does that happen and how does that work with the mind? I would have had no concept, even thought I could have even found somebody to have tried to put these into form for me, let alone describe them to them, because there was no description I could give for what I was seeing. Now, I will be sharing, and those activation codes are now put into the manual that I'm going to be sharing on the Lionsgate and all of them, and we're going to be using them, and we're going to do and visualize with them, and we're going to be activating with them coming up here on Tuesday, August 8th at 8 p.m. And I want to show you that's the kind of power I'm talking about showing up, and about, you know, that I'm saying that from this heart energy of being to share with people. And she was so honored that she listened to her gut. First of all, she could have kept doing what she was doing, but she stopped and listened. And just the beauty in that, we had tears, and just the beauty in this that brought into form this beautiful, magical art that is really just these light codes. So I printed off the one to show you that is to do with the Seeds of Light activation code for the solar plexus, that has to do with the diamond light central, right? And it's going to be used in the solar plexus. I want to share this with you, what she sent me. I'm not sharing them all. They will be all shared in the Tuesday night event. So, but this is what she sent me. Now, how beautiful is that? Now you can see the 8-8 there, which represents a lot of infinity, and there is even more to this. There's more coding and more channeling and more vision that I can bring. Like, I'm bringing this into form now that I have it in form, more detail about the meaning and the representation and what it's actually going to be doing. And some of it probably is beyond human comprehension what it's going to be doing, because there's an agenda all of its own for these codes. And I'm sure there are other codes that people are downloading through this, kind of like the Mayans and the Egyptians did with all the space and time. But we're changing the new templates of the earth, and we're recoding. This is like changing history here, because these are creating the new templates in order to upgrade us into the new vibration to go forward with the heart language and collapsing that mind. And I've been shown the one she showed me for like the mind collapsing. Like, it's just, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, I cannot even begin to tell you what a blessing this is. But I think you're going to understand when I also tell you what I went through personally this week in a minute. So, I really, really, really highly recommend and would like to invite you from the bottom of my heart to get plugged into this Diamond Light Seeds of Light activation coming up on August 8th. And there'll be a link at the bottom. So I do want to share with you, though, and I said this last time, I was going to share a sample of the 33-day Free to Love blueprint. That's a 33-day outline for you to be able to, when you're plugged into that plan that comes with the program. So just so you know, the program does have a $50 off coupon for a 1-hour reading with me. And the investment of the event and the 33-day activation plan of the 33-day Free to Love challenge and blueprint is also in there. So basically, you know, technically it's a $44 investment that if you were, it's not required you get a reading with me, but if you were and you saved that $50, or if you've ever thought about it, now's the time to do it, because you are getting all of that basically for less than free. And so, anyway, so I've just been asked to share this, show up with this, and I'm sharing with you what's came through to share. And I had said last time there wasn't enough time, and actually it wasn't the right time, but I was asked to share with you, like, an example of one of the days that you will be doing in the 33-day Free to Love Blueprint Challenge. And so each day for the 33 days, you're kind of working through things that are going to activate your light and ignite that, and to put these codes into action and to bring everything into form. And that is going to be to help release things from the past, anything you have left to release, recalibrating your vibration, and then, you know, looking at the reclaiming aspect of how to manifest in the new part for the new Earth Heart language and go forward with that. So on one of the days, this is one of the days, and so I'm going to share with you in that it is being what I call igniting with my 5 A's, which is acknowledgement or setting an intention for that day. And then the second one is the asking for assistance by your guides and angels. And then journaling and creating awareness would be the third A, and that therefore you can get higher conscious awarenesses, and you can shift up in your vibration as you do so. You create thoughts, feelings, emotion, that you integrate those things and you process them, and you get higher conscious awarenesses as you go through the process. And as you do so, you continue to get greater and greater awarenesses. So you journal those awarenesses, then also a daily affirmation, and then also a daily action plan to help you go through this process of becoming free to love over the next 33 days and bring into form eternal love. And that's why I'm being shown to share this. So the intention of the day, the acknowledgement, and what you're acknowledging, clarifying your intention of this particular day I've chose to share with you is, today I choose to take back my personal empowerment. So it's setting an intention that day. Today I choose to take back my personal empowerment. And then asking your angels, and the prayers are here for you in this 33-day blueprint that I put together with the Free to Love Blueprint. So dear angels and guides, I ask that you reveal anything that is blocking me from being able to feel confident and have the courage to go forward with my personal truth. Dear angels and guides, I ask you to reveal anything that is blocking me from being able to feel confident and have the courage to go forward with my personal truth. That is just beautiful. I have to tell you, these things were channeled in to share. So I'm just the vessel here. And then the awarenesses, there's a section to create your awarenesses, also recommended journal. But throughout the day, you just pay attention to your thoughts, feelings, emotions, and your awarenesses. And you also that are revealed to you as you kind of monitor those awarenesses throughout that day in the course of the 33 days, and to be sure to journal those out. And then the affirmation of the day is, I am courageous, confident, and bold. I am a courageous, confident, and bold being who speaks my truth from the heart and shares my inner light with others to follow. I am a courageous, confident, and bold being who speaks my truth from the heart and shares my inner light with others to follow. And then the action of that day is is to be able to perform a meditation that's going to help you align with your personal empowerment. And I've provided a link with some of my favorite, absolute favorite different meditations, and some of them I wrote out, some of them are videos that you can follow, but it's all, you know, kind of set out for you, that it's all pre-ready for you just to work that light that day. And in addition to that, this particular day, I have on here where you make a list of 3 people that you need to practice setting loving boundaries with, and then speak your truth with certainty with those people, just to put that intention out there. And then ask, you know, yourself too during that is, you know, how is that, you know, how does your heart feel about it? And speaking that truth, like I said, from the heart, and being able to activate that. So, powerful stuff, powerful stuff. Now, I want to share with you my own revelations this week as an open book, and coming to you in complete rawness, and share with you my own revelations of what I'm personally experiencing this week. Because I know it's not about, trust me, it is not about I have a need to share this to talk about me. I can promise you that. It's more about the concept and the idea that when others have went through certain things, other people can relate to that, or they might be going through something similar, or they find it inspirational, or they really connect with it. That is my intention here, not to just talk about me as always. So first off, I want to say that kind of leading up to this, a week ago today, which is Sunday here, I had a karmic partner kind of starting to resurface their self. And I say karmic partner, they were a karmic partner from the past and a connection I've had for like a long time. And I thought last year we had cleared everything up. Well, that person started representing themselves at just the right time that I knew I had to pay attention again. And there was never any physical contact. It was all through messaging. But it turns out that they were coming back through for me to clear something really huge that I needed to close out, not just with that person, but really what pointed back was for myself. And I also could tell that the lesson that I was learning was also closing out a past life that I've had with my daughter, because I've had a situation with my daughter of her and I having been sisters at least a couple times that I know of in past lives, and that there's been some forgiveness. I didn't know the forgiveness needed to be there. I knew that there was some things that needed to be healed from a combination of jealousy and a combination of a lot of things, but I didn't even realize that there was some forgiveness being linked to her and I healing this. And as soon as I identified it, she'd even messaged me like right after I got this awareness, which confirmed I was onto something. And so I was able to clear that. And it boiled around forgiveness, which I feel like was like she kind of has to, I think, forgive me for something in a past life. But then at the same token, I felt like in this life, all the times I kept trying to figure out what the mirror image was, I could never figure it out. And it boiled down to me being able to, in that mirror, forgive myself from that incident in the past life that I had no conscious awareness of. And so I feel like that's one of the huge things that came through for me this week, is where it started from. Then second to that, my an old business partner I talk about in my book from my chiropractic practice, I had not, like, I was in a car, he was getting out of a car, but I've not saw him since we ended a 10-month court battle in 2010. And I thought I'd done a lot of forgiveness work, because I also knew that he taught me shift or be shifted, because at the time that was all taking place, I was not listening to my gut. I was not listening to my intuition. I thought that I had to go there to get everything in motion with a practice that would support me to go and perform my mission that I knew was then, and that was in 2010. But I didn't listen to my gut. I thought, I was listening to the mind. I was doing it based out of fear that I didn't, and not knowing how to get into alignment at the time. But I thought I was trying to get into alignment. And so he hit a very deep place, because I had a 12-year chiropractic practice, and you might have heard me tell this story, but I traded sort of that practice in exchange for a lot of financial debt that I won't go into, but there was a lot of forgiveness work that had to be taken place. But in the whole time of that, I actually did kind of take it on, but I took it all on by myself. Like, meaning, like, even then when people were telling me, oh my gosh, she's doing this stuff to you and you should do this. And even after $40,000 in 10 months in court, I knew I had to surrender. I had the resistance, I had to let it go. It wasn't worth it. It was not worth it. I had to let it go. I knew it was my own lesson. I knew I had to look at me, and I did. But what I want to tell you that I realized, and that was a karmic contract, by me kind of taking it all on, I was still taking on his part, like I said I did with my twin, that I didn't realize. Which means then I had to release a piece of the part that I took on for his to own, so he can own that part of it, and I don't need to own that I was totally responsible for that. that, you know, I was taking it on out of the thoughts of being positive and not needing to necessarily have to be angry, because it's almost like I wasn't angry about it. And then I had to learn I'm having to learn how to open up on the dark side and say, you know what? I took that on by myself. Just like I've taken on everything else. I don't need to take all this on anymore. So now it's sort of like me giving it back to him now. And I didn't even think about this until I ran into him. And these awarenesses keep coming. So then I have to say, then it gets deeper. It gets really deep. So, you know, I told you in the last video about the 12 arrows of light, and being struck by Cupid will pop you with an arrow and it will create like a bolt and a lightning bolt from Eros and the Eros love and from the Cupid. And I talked to you about 12 different types of things that represented the 12 bolts of lightning or the arrows of light. Well, I've been struck by Cupid in the heart. And my heart has shattered. Literally shattered this week. I'm going to tell you how that happened. It's had to happen, and I'll tell you why it's had to happen in a minute. But I was blindsided by something I never saw coming, ever in my wildest dreams. Now, I'm working with clients that are going through similar and same things. Maybe not like mine, but it's everybody's situation is their situation, so they're all their own to own and their own situations, and it's not one's good or worse or bad or right. It's all our stuff, and we all are being affected by this, and it's all hitting the heart because of this Lionsgate. So on this last Wednesday, I had uploaded everything to post the first video of What is Eternal Love. It was processing. Had not even hit click to be done yet. And I had been supposed to get my dog from my ex-life partner. It'd been like a little weirdness over the last couple weeks about us trying to connect to get him from a schedule standpoint, and especially him being available or having contacted me like faithfully like he always has. Now, I want to give you a little background on this. He took me through hell for first he took me to heaven for 4 years. Then he took me through hell for 3. And it created the expansion. And I talk about this in the Radiant Heart and expanding the Radiant Heart and how this happened to me with his experience with him and how he taught me more compassion than anyone had ever taught me in my life. And that the hell that I went through with him and being dragged through things, and that when there was a place and time I didn't think I'd ever be the same person. And I'm not. But I mean that in a way that I felt like I was in purgatory. I felt like a person in a hole. And I felt like somebody that you might as well drop me a piece of breadcrumb every day, because that's the kind of darkness that I was in from the experiences that I was being dragged through with him. Now, we had a mother-son relationship in a past life. His mother this life's birthday is on the same day as mine. And I've talked about this, but I have to bring this up again, is that during this time, together we have this beautiful spiritual dog that is a bully breed that revolves around justice and judgment and creating freedom, and has linked me to multiple past lives and multiple things in this life. I've even wrote a book about basically kind of channeling through from the dog about Life of a Champ, 8 Tricks for Happier Humans, that also kind of shifted into also being strut like you're met and to be happy on purpose. So like I was working with publishers and they were looking at the title, and so that has never been resolved. And I also know why that book never got finished and completed at this moment. It wasn't complete for the needness. But what the point of the book is about that if we were to live more like our animals and our dogs, that we would be a more Christ conscious person and a more Christ conscious society. and that we would all be happier people. And some of those chapters consisted of pooch time consciousness for living in present time consciousness, bark out loud for speaking your truth, wag your tail and have fun doing it, sniff it out, trust in your instincts. So this is the power of that book being channeled through the message of the dog as the metaphor, but also the experiences I've had with my dog. And when we started a smiling challenge, that book came out of the smiling challenge from when I was in that dark hole and I couldn't see the light. My dog was my light. My dog made me smile when nobody could. And we were running one day. People noticed his light. They always have. And his smiles are smiling staffies. They're known for their smile. And so I was shown a seed of an idea. I felt like it came from him. Felt like it came from him, from the higher self, and I know it did, especially now I do. To go and do a 100-day smiling challenge and to share with people his smile when they noticed him, take a picture, and he got picked up by 7 leading dog magazines, and his smile went around the world through following and tracking the smiling challenge. Changed my life in the process. Now I'm telling you this story so you can understand the depths of what I'm about to tell you. So I was to get the dog on Wednesday night of this last week. And I had tried to call like I was supposed to my ex-life partner, and he didn't answer, so I sent a text and said, I'm free between this time frame. Just let me know when's a good time and we'll coordinate exchanging the dog. We've worked. I want to say one more thing. There's been everything in harmonic balance with him. There has been nothing that we've not argued about in a long, like since we healed everything. He showed up and sprayed my condo about 6 weeks ago. I gave him a gift. I thanked him. I've been walking around in appreciation for him. I've been walking around giving him praise, just like I talk about we do with our twins, because I could see like the harmonization we've created. I could see the balance and everything that we've created, but there was one missing piece. I've been saying for a while now that as long as my dog is living, I will be in this area, because I will not rip the dog from his life, and I will not leave my dog. That dog changed my life. I took that as a commitment. I will not leave my dog. I won't. But I've been feeling really called to do something different, and also go home and feeling like I'm going to Hawaii, and I know that's where it is. I don't exactly know when. I just know I'm being called. And so I would say to the guides and angels, okay, I don't know how that's going to happen, but I know this. And, you know, we're talking about freedom here. We're talking about cutting cords that's keeping you held back from your destiny, right? Well, I get the call from the ex back, and he says 3 sentences to me. I'm done exchanging the dog with you. I want you out of my life. And this is the last time you will ever hear from me again. Click. I was in shock. Like, honestly, I didn't even know what just hit me. I didn't have a clue what just hit me. And so then as I processed, and, you know, I'm not kidding when I say shock. I'm even into, like, I've been through ups, downs, phases. I had to go in through 2 days of transmuting and, you know, my own little earthly release of the feelings and the hurt and the pain. But it shattered my heart, because I love that dog. I've been patiently waiting in silence for, I have connections and I have people that are kind of involved in this. I won't tell you all the details. I don't know how it's going to turn out. I've still not heard from him. I don't have an answer yet. I do have where the authorities are going to pay a visit because I do have certain paperwork that has only my name. Some has both. I've been paying half of the vet bills for 3 years now, but it was in cash, and he has records of that. However, I have text message that shows, you know, as far as proof that his last visit that he didn't even take him to, that I found out when I went to get the vet records, that I had paid him for in cash, and it was all in messages. So bottom line is here, I feel like that when you get to the end of the day, that the divine has a plan here somewhere. There's a plan. And I don't know what that plan is. I do know that, you know, I will follow through with whatever it takes because I'm not committed. But at the moment, I've got some people handling some things for me, and I've chose to be still and to be silent. And what I want to tell you is came out of that is so many awarenesses, so many connections, so many personal revelations from the heart that link into not just my own oneness of heart here with my own union here, reunion, but also with that of the collective. I told you I'm in the heart chakra of the nation and that represent not only the heart chakra of the nation, but the heart chakra of the heart chakra. And that we're in the heart chakra energy. And I'm also Leo. My dog has struck me in the heart here to crack it open. I've also felt some of the greatest love and bliss this week I've never felt. I felt my dog has always helped me energetically. I was with a client the other night, and when I was with her, she has had me multiple times work on her cat energetically, from remote energetically. Was working on her cat, and Champ is my dog. He came through energetically from the higher self, and he has since I got this dog. I've always communicated with this dog, okay? And he was telling, you know, all of a sudden I felt the merger of the cat energy and the dog energy, and I was talking to the owner of the cat, my client, and said, wow, and she could feel it, and we were both tearing up from this bliss. It was pure stream love from pure perfection of the Christ consciousness, one bliss love channel. My dog was bringing it in, merging with the cat, and created one. And I heard Champ say, Mama, it's going to be okay. Don't you remember the picture that you framed when you moved in here that's sitting in the living room? And it hit me like a ton of bricks, the pre-coding I had done for some of this. He's meditating. I'm going to share with you what it says first. I'm going to show you. He's meditating in a picture, and this was taken when I was still with my ex. When I moved here, and his page, I had shared this on his page, and I put on here, do not let the behavior of others destroy your inner peace, by the Dalai Lama quote. And this is his picture with that. You can't read it exactly all right there, but do not let the behavior of others destroy your inner peace. It's one smart dog. And I say, he's my partner in spiritual crime, and he is. And I don't know what's going to happen, as I said. And I don't know when he's coming home. And I don't know the journey I'm going to have to walk to bring him home. And I don't know the outcome that's going to happen after he gets home. But I believe he's coming home. Just like I believe in unicorns. And just like our twins are returning home, because we're creating one heart here. Two hearts of fire to learn to live the eternal love through living fearless and living loved and living free. I've been getting signs. I've asked for signs like I always do. I saw a license plate. Universe speaks to me through songs and license plates and all kinds of things, but I saw a license plate that said Wagtail. After this one I asked, WGTAIL. The next morning so Saturday morning, I have a client, actually the one I talked about with the rainbow child, that her child's communicating from the other side, and I mentioned this story a while back. I woke up on Saturday morning to a message from her about some things I'd also shared with her about her own signs, and she was showing me the signs that came through. And through a little bit of a communication with her, I shared with her what's been happening to me and asked for thoughts and guidance and prayers here, which I will ask of you. I'm here to anchor this heart energy. I'm here to hold this space for all. I'm here to do that. And I'm doing it at a level that I am experiencing right now, the depths of love to the most extreme shatteredness. This is a child being ripped from me right now. No different. But at the same token, I'm experiencing the greatest amount of love I have ever felt. So I'm sharing this with her, and she shares with me how she had been journaling the night before. She's like, oh my gosh, I've been journaling the night before. And she sent me a picture of her where she had in her journal talking about the dog coming home. And she didn't know about my dog at the time. You know, she didn't. So, but it was her sign giving me a sign too back in the harmonic balance of our exchange here. And so I want to share with you what she sent. So first of all, there was 3 pages, and this is sort of like the last page. And there was things leading up to this page that I'm not going to talk about, but it was really leading up to what her life would look like with her twin or her beloved, okay? And she was painting the picture and claiming that to manifest that in reality, what it is she wanted or what it would look like. So she goes on to this 3rd page and gets here talking about, our food has been cooked. Our dog comes running promptly towards us. And maybe that's a way of how dreams work too. We don't have to be able to currently have the capacity to know our dreams and that they will come into form. But we just have to know and trust our innate intelligence that the dream has the same property as a microwave or as a dog whistle. You can't hear those sounds, but they exist and they do something and they create. And it is the capacity to manifest something tangible that comes from something that's invisible, from something that we could not see or comprehend. Just as dogs can, human beings can react to the tone of a certain whistle. Similar to our angels and our spirits, who are angelic beings that perform a dream setting. Maybe it's the world that they dwell in, and they use our dreams as seeds to plant in our mind of something that we've been longing for. Then perhaps we can eventually see with our own 2 eyes the following. I trust love. I immerse in love. I feel in my heart and dreams is that my dreams are already manifested mantras. And in perfect divine timing, the dog will come home. My partner has been manifested. Friends, what I'm talking about here is not just a metaphor. I'm living out a shattered heart to create one heart, to create one love, to create one life with beloved. And I'm being shown on all levels. And so we are here to learn how to experience and shift or be shifted into this eternal love. And that we need to release the past. We need to release all the forgiveness. And the forgiveness with ourselves, and the forgiveness of our twins, and the forgiveness of others, and use these experiences for us to elevate our vibration so that we can bring it into form. And to do what I said with activating ourselves, that, the activation is the exact blueprint of how to physically do that, of some missing pieces. If you've been working this, work it again. Because there's not one person on that list that I haven't experienced this week, that I haven't done work with multiple times. And now my heart just got shattered. And I will tell you, there's moments that I have of feelings in the human being, in the human body, of being struck by a bolt of lightning. That's how in shock I am. And it has erupted my capacity of my human body. But there's a side of me that knows there's a reason. There's a side of me that knows that this links to eternal love. There's a side of me that knows that I have to forgive myself and my partner to another, ex-life partner to another level. And my dog will come home. And so will my beloved. And I invite you to open your doorway, to open your heart, and to allowing yourself to experience whatever it takes to get you into this alignment with eternal love. Because I'm already feeling it and experiencing it. And I made a post yesterday on my Soulful Saturday tip on my Facebook page that said, when life deals you with lemons, it's time to make lemonade. I've got a lot of lemons this week out of this. And it's some pretty bitter, and I didn't really think I had sugar to make lemonade, but let me tell you, it's been sweet, even though I didn't think I had sugar. Because I want to also tell you that after I found out about my dog is when I got the greatest blessing of these light codes showing up to me. Now, Tatiana, I know you don't even know that story yet, so you're going to hear it when you hear this. And I want to give her the total credit for bringing into form that which I was pulling in myself, and she brought my visions into form. And if she can, from the other side of the world, not even knowing me, do such a thing and know what my needs are, I can trust that all my needs will be met and that everything's for the highest good of everyone. And I'm already, no matter what, here's the key, no matter what, I'm already experiencing eternal love. This is eternal love because it's acceptance of the depths of the deep hurt to experience the joy of the highest bliss. And I've had all of it running through me at the same time. So, make sure to check out the links below. Subscribe, like, comment. Thoughts, prayers, also towards you this week, going through this lion gate. My energy will be to anchor for everyone as a collective, but I also ask you to do the same for me with what I have going on right now, and that would be very much greatly appreciated. Like, share. May you always face your fears, find freedom, and glow forward on fire. Namaste.